Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press Evening Podcast for September 11, 2025. Firstly, Iran is at a critical juncture in its diplomatic relations with the West. With the clock ticking, Tehran must decide whether to redefine its trajectory and seize the opportunity for a peaceful resolution or continue down a path of uncertainty and potential conflict. Former Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif has sent a clear message to President Trump: stop listening to Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. In Eastern Europe, Russia's shocking aerial attack on Ukraine has raised concerns about the war spilling over into neighboring NATO countries. The situation is dire, with Poland requesting consultations under Article 4 of the NATO treaty. As tensions escalate, the world watches with bated breath, wondering what concrete actions will be taken in response to Russia's aggression. Lastly, the United States and Pakistan are reassessing their relationship amidst rising great power competition in South Asia. With China's expanding footprint in the region, Islamabad is seeking to balance its ties with both the U.S. and China. Discreet discussions between Pakistani and American officials aim to explore potential areas of cooperation that could stabilize the region and promote economic development. These stories are complex and rapidly evolving, but one thing is certain: the choices made by global leaders will have far-reaching consequences for the future of international relations. We'll continue to monitor these situations and bring you updates as more information becomes available. That's all for tonight. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. I'm Walter, and we'll see you again soon. Good night. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then shall know what's right now. Firstly, we've been following the developments in the Gaza crisis, where Palestinians are facing a dire humanitarian situation due to the ongoing conflict with Israeli forces. The international community has called for a ceasefire, but negotiations have been put in jeopardy after an airstrike on the Qatari capital, Doha, targeted Hamas leaders. In other news, we marked the anniversary of the September 11 attacks, a pivotal moment in American history that left an indelible mark on the United States and the world. Despite the challenges and divisions facing the country today, many New Yorkers came together to reflect on the impact of 9/11 and the lessons learned from that fateful day. Lastly, we reported on the controversy surrounding the mayoral election campaign in New York City, which has been marked by divisive rhetoric. However, our focus remains on the importance of unity, tolerance, and understanding, particularly as the nation grapples with a surge in political violence. We'll continue to bring you updates on these stories and other developments from around the world. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Until next time, good night and stay informed. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm your host, Louis. In this summary, we'll be covering the key points from our recent articles. Firstly, we've been following the developments in the U.S. economy, where the Federal Reserve is considering cutting interest rates to mitigate the risks of stagflation. This move comes after a weaker-than-expected jobs report and rising inflation concerns. The Fed's decision will have far-reaching implications, not only for the U.S. economy, but also globally. In other news, we've seen some exciting updates from the world of technology, including Ant Group's unveiling of its first humanoid robot. This impressive feat of engineering can perform a range of tasks, from serving as a tour guide to sorting medicine at pharmacies. We've also been tracking the surge in gun stocks following the tragic shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. While this event is undoubtedly devastating, it's led to an increase in demand for firearms, with companies like Smith & Wesson and Sturm Ruger seeing their stock prices rise. Additionally, we've reported on Open Door Technology's appointment of a new CEO and its $40 million investment to support business growth. This move highlights the company's commitment to innovation and adapting to changing market conditions. Finally, we've been keeping an eye on the Consumer Price Index, which rose to 2.3% in August, driven partly by the gradual passing through of tariffs to consumers. This uptick in inflation, combined with a labor market that's still warm but showing signs of weakening, presents the Fed with a challenging decision. As we conclude this evening's podcast, remember that in the world of economics, nothing is ever certain. We'll continue to monitor developments and bring you updates as more information becomes available. Until next time, good night. And don't forget, why did the economist forget his wedding anniversary? Because he was too busy calculating the opportunity cost of love. Ah, well, maybe that one was a bit of a stretch. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Now, for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we took a look at the impending collision between our galaxy, the Milky Way, and the Andromeda Galaxy, which is still billions of years away. However, more recently, we've been exploring some fascinating developments in space travel and astronomy. We discussed the recent discovery of water ice on the parent body of asteroid Ryugu, which has significant implications for our understanding of the early solar system and the origins of life on Earth. This finding suggests that asteroids may have played a more important role in delivering water to our planet than previously thought. Next, we talked about Elon Musk's announcement that SpaceX plans to fly a bigger, fully reusable Starship in 2026. This new version of Starship will have a payload capacity of over 200 tons and could revolutionize space travel and exploration by making it more accessible and affordable. These developments highlight the rapid progress being made in space technology and exploration. As we continue to push the boundaries of what's possible, we may uncover even more surprising and fascinating discoveries that challenge our assumptions and inspire new questions. That's all for tonight's summary. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the latest developments in science and technology. Until next time, good night and keep looking up at those stars. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. We have a packed show for you tonight, with updates from the world of sports. First off, we're coming off a blockbuster deal in the NFL, where the Green Bay Packers have acquired Micah Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys. This franchise-altering move has sent shockwaves throughout the league, and we'll be keeping a close eye on how it plays out. In baseball, several teams are vying for top spots in their respective divisions. The Los Angeles Dodgers' Mookie Betts is on fire, while the Pittsburgh Pirates' Paul Skeens is making waves with his impressive performance. The Houston Astros, Texas Rangers, and Seattle Mariners are all fighting for a spot in the playoffs. And in college football, Texas A&M quarterback Marcel Reed has set his sights on winning the Heisman Trophy. With his impressive skills and dedication, he's definitely one to watch this season. Coach Mike Elko praises Reed's growth and maturity, saying he's going to have a great year. We'll be discussing these stories and more in tonight's podcast, so... Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Carroll.
Thank you, Howard. I'm your host, Charles. In our latest series of articles, we've been exploring stories from around the world that highlight the intersection of culture, community, and the environment. First, we took you on a journey to Tokyo, Japan, where the city's vibrant streets came alive with music, food, and laughter during the Cherry Blossom Festival. We met locals who shared their favorite traditions and customs, from delicate tea ceremonies to lively street performances. Next, we traveled to Rome, Italy, where the Eternal City is making waves, literally. The city's mayor has announced plans to open the River Tiber to public swimming within the next 5 years, following a successful cleanup effort in Paris. We spoke with locals and tourists alike about the potential impact of this project on the community and the environment. Finally, we reflected on a more somber note as we explored the stories of those affected by conflict and tragedy. We remembered the importance of empathy, compassion, and understanding in the face of adversity, and honored the dignity of ordinary work and craftsmanship that brings people together. These stories, and many more like them, remind us of the beauty and complexity of human experience. They highlight the connections between people, their environment, and their culture, and invite us to slow down, observe, and reflect on the world around us. That's all for this evening's podcast. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I look forward to sharing more stories with you in the days to come. Until next time, may we all find peace, and may our hearts remain open to the stories that make us human. Good night. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, we're talking about Morgan Wallen, the country music superstar who's blocking himself from scoring a new #1 hit. Yep, you heard that right. His song What I Want is holding strong at #1 on the Billboard charts, but it's also preventing his other song I Got Better from reaching the top spot. Talk about a good problem to have. Next, we're shining the spotlight on The Weeknd, whose decade-old tune Tell Your Friends has finally become a bestseller in the UK. This song was never even pushed as an official single, but with the 10th anniversary of his album Beauty Behind the Madness, fans have turned it into a top seller. And let me tell you, he's got not one, not two, but 3 tracks debuting on the official physical singles and official vinyl singles charts. The power of nostalgia and vinyl revival is real, folks. Last but not least, we're giving you a sneak peek into the world of luxury gifts with our feature on the most extravagant presents to give your loved ones this season. From diamond-encrusted phones to bespoke fragrances, we've got the inside scoop on what's hot and what's not. So, stay fabulous, darlings, and tune in tomorrow for more juicy gossip, exciting updates, and behind-the-scenes insights into the world of entertainment. And remember, as I always say, in the world of entertainment, you've got to take the good with the bad, and sometimes, you've just got to roll with it. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we reported on a groundbreaking discovery off the coast of California, where researchers identified 3 new species of snailfishes. These extraordinary creatures have unique characteristics and adaptations to deep-sea environments, reminding us of the incredible diversity of life on Earth. Secondly, we delved into the issue of protecting our planet's precious marine ecosystems. A special report highlighted the importance of conservation efforts, particularly in light of the discovery of new species. We also explored the impact of human activities on marine life and the need for sustainable practices to preserve these delicate ecosystems. Lastly, we talked about the mesmerizing fall hummingbird migration, where millions of these tiny creatures make their way south from Canada and the United States to Mexico and Central America. We discussed how humans can play a vital role in supporting these birds by providing hummingbird-friendly plants and feeders, as well as tracking their migration patterns through citizen science projects. These stories not only showcase the awe-inspiring beauty of nature, but also emphasize our responsibility to protect and conserve it. As we continue to explore and learn about our planet, we're reminded of the power of curiosity, exploration, and conservation. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press. Until next time, stay informed, and let's work together to protect our planet's precious ecosystems. Good night, and that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.